Let's play! Whoa! I was about to say, where the hell did my game go? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. You all may call me Pharaoh, and welcome to another stream of Paradise Killer. And, well, I believe in the last part, we really were just talking to One Last Kiss and a bunch of other people just to kind of clear up some stuff. And I still gotta do that today. There's still a lot I need to, like, clear up with a lot of individuals. Now, in terms of places to actually go to and whatnot, well, actually, let me take a look at my... Why are those notes still here? Huh. I gotta check out the barracks. I was able to get to the roof. And I was like, okay, cool. But I don't know how to, like, get in there without the guards spotting me. So that's what I'm kind of hoping to figure out today. But besides that, we just gotta really talk to a bunch of people today. And let's start with Yuri since he's right here. Did I hear about a glitch that caused loads of people's GTA accounts to get banned or reset? No, I did not.
You know it.
So Yuri is definitely high on my suspect list personally, but we'll see how it goes. Also, for those watching, I do apologize if I sound a little out of it. I do have a little bit of a cold, and yes, it's just a cold. Anytime the weather drastically changes, that's when my body decides to say, screw you. So, there's that. Got time to chat.
Worthless.
What now? You seem to be ambitious. Is that the statement or question?
Don't.
Why are you like
me.
this?
What?
Like what? Don't be arrogant, Yuri. You know what.
Insufferable.
I just want people to use language correctly when addressing their betters. Uh-huh. Fine. I apologize. I wasn't thinking.
Pathetic.
See that you do in the future.
What business
I
is
am now
it
secretary
yours?
to the leader of the syndicate. You have advanced well. I have. Having ambition pays off. You should always rise to the top.
Don't be snide.
Precisely. Without ambition, you have nothing and never become better than them. Them? Those around you that are content to while away their lives. While away their lives? Okay. You have a feeling Henry's completely innocent? That's what I think, too. What about people that find happiness in contributing rather than ruling? They have a purpose.
I don't.
From a
like
certain
this.
Worthless.
We're done. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. Oh, I was kind of hoping that would, like... I like playing to their, if you want to say, tune, so they can open up to me a little bit more. But, guess it didn't happen here. I've scanned your phone. You can have it back now.
Freak.
Believe me now, freak. My job isn't to believe. I need proof. And now you have proof.
The truth
There's
is
a 10-minute period where your phone went dark. Your alibi has a hole.
The investigator
Lydia
is
told me she
here.
lost contact with you last night during a 10-minute window. She tried to contact you while she was waiting at the Paradise Gates just before the murder.
Huh?
And,
Why?
were you in the council building? You didn't want to be contacted.
Nonsense.
Of course not.
Don't make
The
me
reality
laugh.
folding drive must have disrupted the communications. Aha. At the end of the island, the folding drive does a final burst to power both islands during the transition. The radiation sometimes causes localized areas of communication and electrical interference.
That's weird.
That seems convenient.
What business
What
is
do you
it
want
of
me to
yours?
say? That you're lying? Yeah, this ring is going to be a big one for me. I've heard you're missing a ring, Yuri.
What?
Of what interest is that to you? Is this the one? Give me that.
Oh, The facts
It's
and the truth
impolite
are
to
not the
snatch.
same.
Want to tell me what it's doing in the fist of KHX's dead body?
You've got nothing.
I have no idea. He made it for me and I lost it. Someone probably found it and gave it to him, recognizing his work.
Sure.
Probably. Anything else you want to tell me?
No.
I don't know anything else. Really? Nothing came out of that?
Why?
Why did you shut the boat trip down early, Yuri?
What business is it of yours?
Just answer the question. It was part of shutting down the island, ready for an end. But why? It never normally happens, and now the other systems... Oh, jeez. Excuse me. And then now the other systems are shut down prematurely.
Insufferable.
Don't question how I do my job. I had some security worries and shut it down.
The facts and the truth.
Did it have anything
are
to do with
not
the
the
dead
same.
body at the bottom of the cliff?
What?
What dead body?
How dare
I have
you?
no idea what you're talking about, but surely it is the jurisdiction of the marshals. You're supposed to be investigating the council member murder.
I need to investigate.
It might be
this.
linked.
Paradise feels wrong.
Did you have anything to do with it?
No.
Definitely not. A lot of bad coincidences then? Must be. Really? So what about the library visits 10 years ago? That has to be kind of big. Have you ever visited a library, Vaults? From time to time.
I have. A
Don't be
bad
coy,
feeling
Yuri.
about
I
this.
expect better answers than that. I don't know why you're asking. I'm chasing some leads. That vault contains forbidden texts about demonology. A demon is purported to have possessed a citizen and murdered the council.
You've got nothing on me.
It also contains other books. I am the architect's secretary. She occasionally requires records and texts for her work. So you didn't take books on demonology.
Freak.
Do the words demonology and architecture sound the same to you? Oh my god. It sucks that I'm not getting like big aha moments out of this. Did you see the architect last night?
Freak.
I saw the architect before I started my duties with the fairy woman. You should ask her about the time of the murder, though. I was here. Did you see the witness? I am aware the architect planned to visit him last night. You can check with her. How do you know?
Oh, so
I am the
pathetic.
architect's assistant. I arrange her appointments and make sure that she can carry out her work without being obstructed by anyone else on this island. What do you know about the murder of Grace bloodlines? Absolutely nothing. And... You know, frankly, I'm a little disappointed. I really was expecting a lot more out of that. Well, in any case, let's go to Dr. Doom Jazz. Because he has some stuff we can definitely get some assistance with. Okay.
Respawning.
I forgot I cannot swim. And now I don't know where the hell he's at. Hello, Derpy. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today, buddy. How's this? Oh, yeah. Nope. I also hear something, but whatever. There's no fall damage, but yeah, like, apparently just can't swim. I hope there's nothing major here. I really hope not. Maybe just another relic, because typically these just contain relics, but... watch it be my luck, it is something important. I love the double jump, though.
Oh. Is this a fact? Or a got it?
Yep. So, there's something fishy about this back door, but here we go. Oh yeah, that's right. You're on your camping trip. The hotel you're staying at has internet, so I can always enjoy one last stream before camping begins. Okay. As long as you're enjoying yourself, buddy. Got a sec, Doc. Wonderful to see you again. You're the only one that doesn't call me the investigation freak. It's not nice to call people names now, is it? The name was given to you derogatorily. You may have lived up to it, but you should be careful of the labels that stick to you. Sometimes you need to make the best of it. Sometimes you need pointing in the right direction.
Want to play doctors and nurses?
I love a positive outlook. Don't let the others get to you. You know the syndicate's self-serving and jealous, just like the gods. Glad you're rising above it. You always go in for the real talk nowadays. You got something else you want to talk about? I don't know. Things just feel pretty heavy around here. You're not the one tasked with saving paradise. I'm not the right person for the job. You are, though.
I'm glad to be back.
You're forgiving and forgetting the past. You know, hold on a minute. I just realized something. On his arms, you know how he has a couple stickers on there? Why does one of them say child labor? Like right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. What the hell? You almost forgot you managed to pass that test you were talking about last time. Oh, well, congratulations, Agor. Ah, whatever. We all make mistakes. Never been a type to bind people to the history. People change. I'm impressed, Doc. You didn't preposition me this time.
I've got all the time
I
in the
assume
world.
you're going to stop
For
by
you.
again at some point before this is all over. We'll see. Ah, but we can't probe. It's alright. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about here. Did you see Yeri last night? Yeri last night? Heh. I didn't see him last night, I'm afraid, Love Dies. Did you experience a comms blackout last night from the reality folding drive burst? Can't say I did. That's pretty unusual. Aha, so Yuri's lying. Who would have thunk? Did you examine the dead gods of the first Holy Seal? Nope. Akiko wouldn't let me. Why?
That's not
She
nice.
said that's military jurisdiction. She didn't want the corpses of her soldiers disrespectful of a post-mortem. Aha.
What the hell?
Even though there could be evidence.
Theoretically.
In her mind, she's already got the case solved. Henry's behind bars and he clearly did it.
Sure.
Do you believe that?
What?
It's not much into belief. I'm not much into beliefs, Love Dies. I'm just waiting to see what truth you find. Is there a database of DNA or blood samples for everyone on the island?
I see.
You want to run some blood? I wish I could help. Just at the crisis meeting last night, positive essential service started corrupting. That's convenient.
Investigator.
Isn't it? I became aware of it because the terminal in my lab does an automated backup in the early hours.
Hypothetically.
I got a report that backup failed. I took a look at it and part of the medical archive had corrupted.
Got it.
Excuse me. What about the backup, the essential server on the moon?
I'm a professional.
Ah, that went down as well. The corruption spread. Not to all the moon database. I can still access most of the files on there. Where's the server on the island? In the caverns on the island. Masahiro Heavy's Industries maintains it. The only entrance into the cavern is via the Deep Factory, and that's under lockdown.
That's weird.
Why? The Deep Factory is shut down at the end of the island. Only 4 people can unlock it. Council member Makin Origin ran Masahiro, but her dead body is up in the council penthouse. Same on Pandora too. She ran Dead Nebula in the Deep Factory. Nicolina Rose is second in command of Dead Nebula, but they're on the next island. Lydia took them early on. And Balthasar Tias is Makin's assistant on Masahiro, but he's on the next island as well.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll go to the 20th island and bring Nicolina and Balthasar back, and they can open the Deep Factory so I can find out what the hell's going on with that server.
Fabulous.
Not so fast, Love Dies. No one leaves this island. Judge's orders. Besides, you need Lydia to take you to the next island. She's on your list of suspects, right?
I don't like this.
So what do I do about this server?
Strange.
2 options. Chalk it up to bad luck and coincidence, or let it fuel a dreadful, all-consuming conspiracy. I'll go for the second one.
Wonderful.
Ha! Keep on trucking, Love Dies. I wonder if there's a way I can actually access that server then. Damn. Doc, the third holy seal is a bloodlock coded as a council blood.
Theoretically?
Makes sense.
The investigator is
Who's
here.
got council blood?
What?
Is this a trick question, Love Dies? Only the council. What if that wasn't true?
I had no idea.
Are you asking if someone secretly has council blood? That's a stretch, Love Dies. What about you? Do you keep samples of council blood? I do for medical reasons. They're locked down, though. Could someone have taken one?
I see.
I mean, they're under high security.
Sure.
Anything suspicious recently? Nope. Anyone been in your clinic who shouldn't be in there recently?
I'm a professional.
Nope. Although, I did catch Sam in there. He was just picking up his prescription, though.
Oh.
Can you check that the council blood samples are all accounted for? Let me just pull up the inventory on my phone. Sorry, the app is taking ages to load.
Strange.
That's odd. There's one missing, but the security alarm didn't go off. Whose sample is missing? Kafka? There we go. Kafka memories.
Sure.
There's an anomaly of Kafka's login to the bloodlock.
Why?
This is bad, Love Dies.
Got it.
You don't need to tell me. This puts you and or Sam at the scene. Okay.
I had nothing to do with this.
So sample's missing. Sam was seen snooping in there, apparently picking up a prescription. Dr. Doomjazz is missing a sample. Did he use it? But he's saying he didn't, so I don't know. You took a bigger version of the sprite. It says child labor records, so it sounds like more likely to do with music. Maybe. A blood sample from your clinic was found on the seal. You found Sam snooping in your clinic. Maybe he took the sample and used it.
I had nothing to do with this.
Well, it sure in hell wasn't me. Why don't we know who Henry's father is?
How?
You mean, why wasn't that tracked down like every other birth? Yes, I mean, you're the doctor after all. When she gave birth, she said she didn't know who the father was. What about DNA? The test came up blank.
Don't test me.
Isn't that concerning? Very. Not a lot I can do, though.
What the hell?
Why would a DNA test come back blank? We missed someone and don't have them recorded. I don't think this is important, Love Dies. I'm not sure how this relates to the council murder.
Got it.
What if someone deliberately kept the birth a secret? And why would they do that? Someone having an affair they shouldn't be? It's a possibility, but you'd need some high-level clearance for that.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Or access to you.
This is bad.
That's quite the accusation, investigator. I think Eyes Kiwami is Henry's father.
Well, I had no idea.
What? The blood samples match.
The island is about to end.
I mean, the only place you can get a sample of Kiwami's blood is from his grave. You broke into my best friend's grave to get a blood sample? You desecrate the resting place of someone I consider a brother to run around with some conspiracy theory?
What?
We've done here. I like you, investigator, and I'll help you with any genuine lines of inquiry you have, but I won't tolerate this. Well, that wasn't good. You examined Grace's bloodlines when Henry killed her, right, Doc? Nasty one for sure.
Ooh.
Was there anything odd about the scene of the victim?
I'm worried.
You mean odd for a case of demonic possession? I didn't get to examine the scene for long. Akiko was in a rush to contain our area and it was a pretty open and shut case.
How?
The markings on Grace were strange though. In what way? Henry's other victim, his mother, had the same sigils scorched into her skin as Henry. Grace had some sigils, but they weren't scorched. They looked like they had been carved with a blade. The demon inside Henry burns in a cosmic fire, and Henry's victims received the same branding. So, if he killed the council, they'd all carry the sigils.
I'm worried.
Depends on how he did it. I don't have a lot of evidence to support this, but I expect the sigils to only be scorched on victims he had sustained close contact with. A cut and run probably wouldn't do it, but a strangulation would. You know, I should mention that I would expect the inhibitors to prevent or limit the scorching of those sigils into victims. So why were Grace's sigils cut into her? I wrote it off of the madness of demonic possession. We don't know a whole lot about this kind of thing, so I figured he carved them himself as some kind of ritual. I can't say for sure, though. Thanks for the help, Doc. Okay. Hey, Simi, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? What was this? Hold on really quick, guys. I'm just reading and catching up with some of my text messages I got. Okay. So, he contradicted a report about the murder. The sigils have been carved with a blade. The sigils that appeared on Henry and his victims has seared into them by demonic heat. So, odd. Did you see the architect last night?
It's been
She said at the crisis meeting that she was at Witness's apartment. Witness can probably tell you more. Did you see Witness at the end last night? I don't know what he was doing, but he's normally in his apartment on the left side of the island. Go ask him. Do you know anything about demons on the island?
Why?
What are you talking about, Love Dies? The Marshals killed them all, didn't they? Not really. Alright, so we got some stuff. Like, I guess every time I think there's going to be something significant, there really isn't, per se. But it's okay.
Getting saved.
That's what I'm looking at as a goer, yeah. Like, Henry is the biggest scapegoat here. It just seems too easy to him, you know? But, and maybe that's what they're hoping for? I could talk to Carmelina again. Witness. I haven't talked to Sam in a while, actually. Let's go ahead and talk to Sam. And let's see, where the hell is he at? Oh, crap. You know, I don't like how it doesn't really tell us where. Oh, shoot, I want to say... Did I not unlock it? There was like one right next to his bar. Huh. I think it was right here. You know, whatever. How am I feeling? I'm feeling okay-ish. Like I'm aching a little bit, and my nose is a little blah. But I took my temp. I'm fine. If anything, it's a little lower. But yeah, during this time, I usually just don't feel well because of a drastic change in weather. Yeah, I'm not feeling the greatest. I don't know if you guys were able to tell from my voice or anything like that, but it's kind of blah. I'm feeling kind of better, kinda. Because it was citizen housing, that's what it was. I wish it would tell us, like, on fast travel where people were, like, compared to everything. Yeah, see, I could have just fast traveled right here. You know, I just thought about something. What is that? Did I never go up on this thing here? Yeah, look at that. What is all that up there? What is this? I don't think I was able to get up here before. I mean, especially with a double jump, it seems to be helping quite a bit. Oh no, oh no, oh no! So wait, this is the... It's the roof of the dead zone. I was never here before. What? Okay, thank God I got that double jump though.
Crystal obtained.
Good, good. Shinji. What's the shape of a crime, Love Dies?
That's
The shape.
strange.
Like a metaphor or something. What shape does crime take?
The investigator
Some
is
crimes
here.
are a pyramid, wide at the bottom, but the solution's a narrow point. Some crimes are on an inverse pyramid, balancing precariously on a single point of a frighteningly wide conspiracy. You really did have a lot of time up in the Idle Lands, didn't you? Maybe. Shut up. So wait, there's a ladder, there's a thing here, actually I gotta shut down. There. Come on. Oh. So what? Whoa. What the hell is this? This computer controls the valve. This looks like some kind of venting system for the dead zone. I guess the air is filtered so demonic corruption doesn't leak out.
Oh,
Opening this should send the marshals into a panic. I might be able to get into the barracks without being seen in the chaos. Hello! We just figured out how the hell to get into the barracks. Yeah, it looks like we need some good upgrades for this. Thank God we have them all. Oh, alright. Let's go ahead and do this. I mean, thankfully, these puzzles aren't, like, super hard. I say that, I messed up entirely there. There you go. Are those the psychic screams? This valve is venting the gas from the corrupted zone below. It should set off the demonic detection systems. I'm sure the marshals will be running out of the barracks any moment now. Okay. Good. So that means that I can go to the barracks. Crap. I just don't know where are the barracks again? So I'm here. Citizen Housing, Marshall Barracks. So it's over there. Okay. Is there like a good way I can... I don't think there's like a really good way I can get there. I mean, yeah, I can fast travel, but I also want to save up money because I might want to buy things from... What's her name? From Crimson. So... But since we're also right here, I do want to talk to Sam, because it's been a while since we talked to him.
Getting saved.
So I'm going to talk to him, and then maybe we'll go ahead and check out the barracks afterwards. Because I have a feeling the barracks are going to have, like, really important stuff. Just because, like, look at what we had to do to get in there. We had to go on the roof of it, and go on the roof of the dead zone. So it was a little bit more involved there.
Sam Daybreak.
Fancy a drink?
Yeah, well, fine.
Fancy a drink?
Is night alone okay again? Neat this time? Whatever you recommend. The ice ball you had last time allowed you to savor it for longer, but it was chilled. The colder the drink, the less you can taste it. I hope you'll enjoy the pure taste of this blend. It's delicious. What are you blending on this island? Night alone in the vortex blend. Maybe you can try it next time. No single malts.
My unique
Blended whiskey requires a fusion of single malts, but on the island I have focused on serving blended instead of single malts. It is important to practice all areas of the repertoire, isn't it? What's Lydia drinking these days? She enjoys a drink while she paints. She chooses something appropriate to her piece. She enjoys all the different ways of serving. A lot like you, right, LD?
I'm glad to be back.
There's something to be enjoyed and everything.
Got it.
What about the next island? It is important to breathe a new island in. Learn about it. Learn about it. A craft. Learn about it. A craft, a drink that can only be born on that island. I don't know why I said that weird. The islands give the drink so much character, don't they? If we make it to the next island, gotta go, Sam. I'll catch you later. All right. So yeah, there's a lot we gotta talk to him about for sure. Hello, Blue Gardener. What did you miss? I talked to Yuri, Dr. Doom Jazz, and found out how to get into the barracks. So that's what we did in 30 minutes so far. Hope you're doing well today. Does Yuri come in here? Why do you ask? He's after my time. Lydia mentioned him. I don't know him. People speak to bartenders, pour the heart out after a bad day. He does come in from time to time. We all need a drink, right? I don't trust people who don't.
Is this a joke, LD?
We all have our ways. It can be a dark path, though. Be careful, won't you? What can you tell me about him?
What?
He's a power boy. All he thinks about is power and ambition. He wants to be on the council. Sure does. Maybe he finally snapped. Snapped?
Fancy a drink?
All he wants is to pursue his ambition. I voted against him in one of his numerous motions, and he comes across the room at me. He came across the room at me. Wow. So he's a gore fiend. He is worried about Yuri's release of violent urges and being turned down for a place at council. He's angry and impatient. He thinks he's ready to run the show. Don't all young people, though. Did you see Yuri last night?
What do you believe, LD?
What the hell did you say? Lydia tried phoning him. You should ask her, shouldn't you? Did you experience a comms blackout last night from the reality folding drive burst? And Lydia couldn't contact Yuri for a while. Was that because of a blackout? That's what I'm trying to find out. What do you know about the Fourth Holy Seal? I don't think I know anything. No one does, do they? Want to tell me about what a lump of flesh cut from a god is doing a security safe in your storeroom?
What?
What flesh? Sammy.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about. Is someone trying to frame me? Did someone plant it there? Did you plant it there? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. I promise you, I don't know what you're talking about.
I am under suspicion, LD.
Maybe there is something we should talk about. Something troubling. Really? Whoa. Let's go back. What?
Sure.
Do you have something you want to tell the investigator?
I am under suspicion, LD.
I'm sorry. I wasn't truthful. I was holding that flesh for someone. That isn't original, Sammy. Why do you have god flesh?
Don't take through that.
I was asked to store it for someone. It was Witness.
Sure.
Now, why did Witness ask you to store that flesh? He came to me and said he needed to be stored. He didn't tell me anything else. And you just accepted it without question. I didn't know what it was, did I? He just gave me a box and said it needs to be kept secret. For the good of the syndicate, wasn't it?
I have a bad feeling
Didn't
about
it strike
this.
you as suspicious? Witness is an old friend. You don't do anything for old friends, wouldn't you? But you'd do anything for old friends, wouldn't you?
The facts and the truth
This is suspicious
are
as
not the
hell,
same.
Sammy.
Don't think through, LD.
It's the truth, isn't it? I have no idea. Okay. So that's pretty good. Do you know anything about the murder of the Marshall guards outside of the council building? I don't, do I, LD? Terrible business, isn't it? What were you doing in Doomjazz's clinic, Sam?
What?
What do you mean, investigator? Doomjazz told me he'd seen you sneaking around his clinic.
What?
We must all be deliberate with words, mustn't we?
My only
The wrong
plan.
word choice can darken truth and cast a false light on conspiracy, can't it? I have a prescription I need to get from the doctor. Quick question, what prescription would you really need to take? Because you don't really have a stomach. I mean, you don't have skin. What the hell's the prescription for? I mean... Never mind.
The investigator is here.
Prescription?
My only plan.
After Lydia killed me at the battlefield and my body refused to die, I lived on in this form. I think it suits me, don't you? Unfortunately, it has become quite debilitating. A few sequences ago, I began to require regular blood infusion. What? Where do you get the blood? It's all ethically sourced from Doomjazz and approved by the council. Every citizen lets blood as part of their worship, and some of that comes my way. Helping the Syndicate is helping the gods, right? Please check with Doomjazz. He'll collaborate my story.
Sure.
You didn't happen to break into a secure container and take a vial of council blood, did you? That's not something I would do, is it? Why would I need to do that? It would be fine if you're trying to breach the Holy Seals. I mean, it would be if you were trying to breach the Holy Seals. Are you accusing me? We'll see. Oh, calcium. That's very true. I'm bad when it comes to medical stuff, guys, so... yeah.
Crime cannot
Know
hide.
anything about an unauthorized distillery in the Dead Zone?
What?
Ah. The Dead Zone has an aura. The structure of the island is corrupted there. It gives whiskey a unique taste. Surely the whiskey is tainted as well. It's quad filtered. The flavor is there, but the taint is removed. It's clean. You should try some. I know it's illegal, but how many times do you get to have whiskey blended in the demonic hot zone? I needed to know. You understand, right? I found a chiller containing a blood vial at your little distillery. What? What chiller? Don't test me.
Got it.
Why is the label scratched off? That's not my business, is it? That vial came from Doomjazz, didn't it? The doctor. It's for my prescription. The blood vial and chiller has the letter K on the label where the first name would be.
Crime is repulsive.
Kafka Memory's blood sample is missing from Doomjazz's clinic and you were seen snooping in there.
Are you accusing me?
Accusing. I am accusing you. Is there an accusation anywhere in there?
I don't like this.
Do you know what the Holy Seals are? They are secret, aren't they? How would I know?
Ooh, the
One is a
investigator
blood lock.
here.
Several days ago, that blood lock was opened by Kafka Memory. I'm sure a council member had business in the council building, didn't they? Montserrat decided the council should only ever enter the penthouse as a group.
When love dies,
I
all
think
that
you used that
remains
blood
are the
sample to gain
facts.
access to the penthouse.
What?
Why would I do that? Are you denying it? Of course I am. I didn't know what the third seal was until now, just now, right? I never said it was the third seal. Oops. You didn't. You did, didn't you? No, I was careful not to. Thanks, Sammy. Ooh. That's not good for Sam. I never mentioned the third seal, yet he did. That's going to be a huge one. What nationality is Sam? I believe they said he was born in Turkey? I think. Did you see the Grand Marshal? Akiko, didn't see her, I'm afraid. You should ask her yourself, shouldn't you? Did you see the architect? Have you asked the architect? That'd be my first stop, wouldn't it? Oops. Did you see Crimson? Sometimes she stops by for a drink in the evening, but I didn't see her until the crisis meeting last night. You should speak to her. Did you see the doctor? He said he'd be in his clinic, didn't he? Is there anything you can tell me about the Henry's movement?
Is this a joke?
You've been to the desolation cell yet? You should ask Akiko, shouldn't you? Did you see Witness to the End? I've got nothing except what I heard in the crisis meeting. He was in his apartment with CARMELINA. You should ask them, shouldn't you? What do you know about the escape last night? Not sure what help I can be. Have you spoken to Akiko? What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago?
Is that true, Aldi?
The dead zone's bad news, LD. If you're looking into a crime from a decade ago, you're going to stare into a hell coffin. What do you know about the second Holy Seal? It's a mystery, isn't it? Not for me to know, is it? Know anything about the demons on the island? There shouldn't be any demons on the island, should there? What do you know about the murder of Grace bloodlines? I don't know anything, do I? Alright. So, that was pretty good. Especially him slipping up regarding the thing. The thing. The third seal. So...
Getting saved.
Okay. Ooh, there's a blood crystal there. But I don't think I care for that. Right now, I want to get back... I forgot how to do this. I want to get back on the roof of the Marshall place. I'm not sure how to do so, though. It's your favorite line of questioning, sarcasm, of course. I mean, it needs to be done, because, like, they may or may not say something, so... I gotta go over every little detail. Do I need to speak with, Shinji? Actually, I'm not really sure how. There you go. How many dead bodies have you seen?
Don't test me.
Enough to last a lifetime. That must be a lot since you're immortal.
Oh.
A lot has happened on these islands. Really wicked shit, I bet. Would love to have seen it. Shinji is something. He's a special character.
Those crystals attained.
Alright. Huh? In loving memory of Tamago, the best Hamu and my best friend. No! The hamster boy died! No! That sucks. What the hell's... Wait, what is this? I never investigated this place at all?
Those crystals attained.
It's a foot bath. What? How the hell did I miss this? Sure.
That's weird. That's strange.
Air dash unlocked.
What? Air dash. Tap the sprint button while in the air to perform an air dash. Holy, what the... Woo! Alright, that's gonna help. Bye, more drinks. I'm not really sure if that was, at all necessary what I just did. Because that's where Crimson's at. Huh. If only you can air dash in real life. Same here. Wouldn't that be something? What? I guess I'll donate. Why not? There's a carved tablet in here.
Sure.
A history of Enchanted Blue. Enchanted Blue, an ancient god who chooses her servants and deceives them with the promise of power. Those that swear allegiance to her work to further her goals and benefit from the gift of physical perfection and strong mind. They change rapidly and dramatically, becoming blessed with beauty and intelligence. In return, they are forever bound to her whims, losing their mind over centuries as they're enraptured by her deception. Currently sealed in the hidden pyramids of the Sahara.
That's strange.
That sounds exactly what Lydia said about Yuri. Maybe he's been deceived. Woo! Thank God I came down here. Deception by a god is classed as a crime, but the deceived are rarely victims. Still gives him motive, though.
Relic obtained.
Oof, that was a really good one, then. Alright. Man. No, Nature, you're totally okay. I'm not really sure exactly what you missed. I talked to Yuri, Dr. Doomjazz, Sam. I found a way to get into the barracks, so I'm trying to get there now. That's pretty much what happened so far. I'm sorry I can't really go in depth, but that's basically what you missed. See, now I'm like worried I missed like a lot of evidence and it's gonna worry me. Oh my god, I don't know where the hell. So these are the gardens. Yuri's right here. This is. Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Citizen services. Okay. You know, I still haven't been able to get to this, that crest. Really? There's gotta be a closer way for me to grab it. Not like that. I don't know why I even care to grab it. I think it's just because it's right here, you know?
Key item obtained.
Now I'm still gonna be missing like 3 or something. Yeah, 1, 2, yeah. There's 2 more. They gotta be around here somewhere. No, we have not talked to Akiko today. I don't know if I need to just yet. Not until after I go into the barracks.
Halt! What do you want?
Got it.
I'll talk to Carmelina again. Hello there, Poe Girl. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the host. Can I ask you something, Architect?
I am the leader.
I didn't question that. What is the point of all these questions, Investigator? I'm just trying to get to know you. The Synagogue has changed my time away.
Believe what you want.
How does getting to know me relate to the case? All it seems to be doing is delaying you by executing Henry. What do you do as the architect?
We have achieved
I craft and
perfection.
enable dreams. Each island needs to be thoroughly designed. I plan every square inch. It takes centuries. You would have been here earlier, but your phone had died, so you didn't see notifications. That's totally okay. So the islands are given form by the council's psychic will. I transmute that psychic will into physical form. You followed in your parents' footsteps. My mother and father had a unique gift, one that they taught me. The gift was part of the Silent Good's blessing when the Syndicate was formed. We needed somewhere to live outside of the real world. How do you transmute the council's will? I've never been able to describe it. It's just a feeling. When I meditate and envisage the island, I am able to open psychic pathways to new reality and let the island take shape. The Syndicate would be lost without you.
Craft is its own reward.
I live to serve. Can we discuss something of a delicate nature? Ooh. Something concerns me about witness. Some of us become more complicated as our lives goes on. Others do not. I can see it behind his mask. He can't hide everything. Witness believes in the gods completely. He believes in our sacred mission. He remembers how the Syndicate used to be. An exciting town for unreserved worship and adulation of our holy masters. He believes we have lost our way. Witness has grown infuriated of Montserrat. They were like baying dogs in Syndicate meetings. Witness voted against every one of Montserrat's proposals. Ooh.
Sure.
Is there anything else? When a man becomes complicated, he often withdraws. Witness is no different. He needed time with his thoughts. His sanctuary was his apartment. It became rare to see him. Witness openly rejected Montserrat's plans to wipe certain events from history and tighten his grip over Syndicate members. Wow. I've wondered what he does up there.
The investigator is here.
Is his privacy more than usual? We would almost never see him. He would only leave his apartment to attend Syndicate meetings, and only then it was to scream religious proclamations at us. That was one of the reasons I went to see him last night. I was worried. I needed to know he was fine at the final end of an island. Thank you for your candor. So, man, okay. Yuri claims that the reality folding drive caused a comms blackout last night. Is that something that can happen with the reality folding drive?
This is nonsense.
Why are you asking me? The drive is operated by Masahiro Heavy Industries, but none of the representatives are left on Paradise. You're the architect, so I thought you might know something. I can't help you with the specifics, but there have been instances of the drive causing blackouts at the end of an island.
Got it.
Did you experience it last night? No. They're localized. They are localized though, so that isn't to say it didn't happen. The drive performs a burst of power each island. It throws a lot of radiation and particles out into the air. If Yuri was in a patch of radiation, it would have caused a blackout temporarily. Do you think it's convenient that it happened around the time of the murder?
This is nonsense.
Do you? That's what I'm trying to work out. Yuri is a loyal member of the Syndicate. You do well to focus on a real suspect instead. Can you tell me about the secret panic room experiment?
What?
Where did you hear that? People talk? I abandoned that a long time ago. It was designed to be a bunker of sorts. My plan was to dot them around the islands in case of attack. Syndicate members could hide in them. Uh-huh. Okay. Hey there, Justin. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you doing? Shoot. Where are the barracks again? That's the council building it. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Shut up. I need a save. Just really quick. You doing alright? You're just tired? I hear you, buddy.
Getting saved.
I might lie down after I do this. I just want to play a little bit of the game today. Okay. I don't know how much of the story you guys missed. I'm sorry I can't give you guys like personalized like recalls of what happened. It's just a lot. It's a lot to do. I apologize. How the hell did I get onto the roof before? I know. That's why I'm not trying to go crazy in the stream. I'm just trying to kind of do my thing. Okay, here we go. So for those who did miss it, I did cause a gas leak from the dead zone roof. Actually, right there. And it says like all the marshals left. So now I should be able to really investigate the Marshall Barracks. So this, well, frankly, I'm excited about this because there's the big thing is finding that statue of New Night. But let's see what else we can find here. Like, this is a locked room, huh? Witness is looking kind of guilty, but I don't think it's him. The big thing about Witness is the whole thing about the container in the penthouse. And he dialed that number on a container at midnight, at when they died. So that's why Witness is looking very bad. Yuri is also looking pretty damn bad, too. I don't think it's just one person that's responsible for all this. I think it's a group. I just don't know. I can't really put it all together just yet. All right. Let me do... That's not it. Okay. Doot, doot, doot.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
All right. What happens if somebody emailed them that number? I mean, could be, but we have no evidence of that. We just know that he dialed it. So he has knowledge of it, and so right now he's looking very suspicious. Alright, let's see what the hell's in here.
Scene investigation.
So this is, ooh, it's a server room. There's an encrypted file. It's a suspicious looking folder. It's outside the main Marshall files. Starlight can crack it. Prisoner transfer records. Some records about prisoner transfers that stand out. Akiko removed 2 prisoners that are unaccounted for the day before the murder. And remember the first Holy Seal, the murder of those 2 Grand High Marshals? Apparently, according to the blood, they weren't marshals. Ooh. That might be it. So is that it, huh? Alright. Starlight got me into the Marshall servers.
Sorry.
If Akiko finds out, I'm not sure how long my head will stay on my shoulders. This file's encrypted outside a normal folder structure.
Sorry.
It's a photo of a strangled woman. My job is never-ending joy.
Sure.
The metadata says this came from a folder called Grace Bloodlines Examination. Looking closely, you see the bruising around her throat. The marks aren't uniform. There's an area of more pressure. I'll hang on to this.
The investigator is
Now
here.
these are prisoner transfer records. As well as the desolation cell, there's a prison within these barracks for the non-demon possessed prisoners. It looks like Akiko removed 2 prisoners 2 days ago. There's no record of them being brought back to the prison. The only people that have access to the barracks of prison are the marshals. I wonder why Akiko would have removed prisoners. Okay. What else is around here? I gotta find that statue. Although at the same time, this place is kind of barren, to be quite honest. Oh. I guess because I'm still high up, huh? So many stairs! Armory and combat halls. My blood vial isn't authorized through the door. I doubt Akiko would allow that. Is this the front of the place? Prisoner processing in cells. Blah, blah, blah. I can't get in there. Yeah, I turned off motion blur too, and it still looks like ugh. Yep. So this is just the front of the barracks. Just random doors that just don't contain anything I can look into. What the hell? I mean, there's that statue for sure, but I want to see what else I can find. It's raining. Marshal quarters, mess hall, and training hall. Yeah, I just realized something. Why the hell does this place not have a roof? Like an actual contained one? Oh, okay. It's a secure tunnel into the desolation cell where Henry is incarcerated. It's only coded to Akiko's blood vial. You understand motion blur in old games being used because of limited graphics, but I don't see why it's needed nowadays. Some people swear on them, saying like it adds more depth to the game, but it just makes me nauseous every single modern game I see it on now. Like every time I open a game, the first thing I do is look in the options, and I definitely turn off motion blur. I just don't see a need for it. So this is New Night. New Night, the Holy Warrior. The slaughter of the chained star system.
Sure.
New Night is an arrogant goddess that only deems soldiers worthy of her attention. The Syndicate got superstitious after any statues of her outside the Marshall grounds were destroyed by red lightning on the 5th island. Since then, there have only ever been one statue of her on each island. Henry says he remembers seeing New Night last night.
That's weird.
Did he come past the statue?
Got it.
If he did, it means he came to the barracks. This is the only one on the island. That means Henry took a different route to the council building.
What the hell?
Which route did he actually take? That means he had to go through here. Which means that Akiko's the one who brought him here. Ugh. A humanoid with 2 dog heads, a warrior clad in gold armor, carries a spear, sword, and shield. Base her forces in Romania. So, is that it here? I get out? Do I literally have to go the long way? I can't just stroll out? Alright, this is not going to be fun. I gotta literally climb back out, so... look away, guys. I gotta climb up all these stairs. Whoa. There's blood right here. No, wait a minute. No, maybe it's just crappy, rails. This makes me feel blah. I hope I found everything I needed to. Like, I found those records. I found the statue. Was that all there is? Like, I want to say there must be more here, but maybe it was just that important that... I don't know. I mean, I didn't see anything else. I looked in there, so... Hello, Cadmos. Yeah, that anime looks really good. I saw a clip on that on Twitter, and it looks like it's going to be amazing. Yes. And yep, I know a lot of people are very happy because they have a lead who is black, so... And he does an amazing job. Let's see. I can talk to a few people again. Let's go for witness again. Where is he?
Game saved.
Okay. So now I want to say we investigate all the places that we could. Maybe. Now it's just a matter of tying everything together.
Witness to the end.
Want to chat? I must warn you that I am not one for long conversations.
Oh.
Why plants?
The gods are watching us.
They tend to us and raised us. Maybe I can hope to have some insight into the brilliance by tending to life myself. Following the footsteps of the gods. In my own humble way.
Other gods work in esoteric ways.
They are glorious cosmic beings that our human minds can barely comprehend.
The gods are
It is
watching
foolish to
us.
think that I may understand their brilliance, but maybe I can understand more of myself. If you know yourself, you can ward off falling into sin. I'll keep that in mind.
The gods are radiant.
I am enjoying our conversations.
The gods are
There's a
watching
sensitive
us.
matter which we could discuss further. Oh, really? What do you want to tell me?
Of course not.
Things happened while you were in exile, Lady Lovedeyes. The architect and I became close and we married. It didn't last though.
The gods
She
are
is obsessed with a
mysterious.
perfect island. There wasn't any room in her heart for me or the gods.
What?
I've been reluctant to tell you until now, but I am worried about her. Her mind is not on the cosmos. Okay. In what way? Do you believe that you should be rewarded for your craft? I mean... It's not exactly necessary. Craft is a reward upon itself.
What?
The architect was like that as well, but dark clouds began to gather over her. Her prayers were not as fervent as they once were. I felt her work was not being done in the name of our star-born masters. She began to crave more validation, more credit for her work.
Sure.
She architects our island. Without her, we have nothing.
The gods are
Our work is for the gods. They lifted us up and we must do the same for them. Personal reward is a sin that pushes us from their light.
Blasphemy!
I fear she has forgotten this. Thank you for confiding in me.
Why?
Why were you butting heads with Montserrat so much?
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
I need to investigate
I
this.
need to know why someone was clashing with a murder victim.
What?
Our leader was not following the holy mission. His focus was on the island sequences and not the gods. Uh-huh. I could just be direct. I doubt I'm going to get anything out of that. Sounds like he was straying from the path.
The gods are
Yes,
radiant.
I'm glad you understand. Our first priority is to prostrate ourselves before the gods, not to build ourselves a nice home.
The gods are
If our islands fail, then it is the will of the gods. If we trust in them, we will be saved.
I don't like this.
Does that make you angry enough to kill?
Of course.
I know you must ask these questions, but it pains me to hear you question my loyalty and faith.
Is this a fact?
You voted against
Or a
every
truth?
proposal he put forward, didn't you? That is the point of our democratic meetings. We all have a say on the direction of the syndicate. His direction veered away from our holy mission. I voiced my disagreement with it.
Got it.
What kind of proposals were they?
This island is full of
Advancement
sinners.
towards the so-called Perfect 25. I don't care about our new home being perfect if the gods are not there to celebrate it with us.
What?
Look out to the oceans of madness. So many pyramids sit empty.
The gods are
24
watching us.
island sequences and we have only one pyramid resident. We are capable of so much.
Why?
Why haven't we done more?
Blasphemy!
Montserrat had other plans. Grand resurrections could wait until the island sequences were solved.
The gods are
What is the point of Perfect 25 if the gods remain in pain? I wanted to remind Montserrat of our syndicate's purpose, so I voted against everything he and the rest of the council put forward.
Paradise feels...
Did you remind
wrong.
him of a knife by any chance? Absolutely not. I understand you have become more secretive. Maybe a bit paranoid.
What?
Who told you that?
Crime
You hiding something
cannot
from me?
hide.
The end times
Others
are
get jealous when you have a purpose in life. My holy work doesn't concern those who are straying. My personal business is my own. Secrets are dangerous, witness. They can take physical forms before you realize. You don't need to lecture me. Did you experience a comms blackout last night? I didn't. When they occurred before, they have always been hard to pinpoint. They don't affect the whole island. Okay, because remember, he used his phone on midnight and everything, so... Huh. Why did you give Sam a piece of godflesh to hide?
What?
What did he tell you?
Don't test me.
You first.
Of course.
I needed somewhere to store the flesh. I am worried that there are people in the syndicate that would sabotage my research. Who?
Surely this is
I
a
have nothing
joke.
concrete.
The investigator is
And the
here.
why? The awful nickname, Perfect 25. The desire for perfection now. They don't want someone proving the council wrong. So you didn't use it with Sam to breach the fourth holy seal. This is the first I've heard of it being used within the fourth seal.
I have a bad feeling about this.
We'll see about that.
The gods are radiant.
Okay. I guess that helped a little bit. I gotta talk.
Ha-
I'm gonna talk to Doom Jazz again. How do I get there? Okay. Oh, what time am I at? An hour 15. The thing is, I don't know if I want to do more today, like take a break. So I feel like this might just be a longer part. So for those watching the VODs or anything like that, it might be a long video, but well, there you go. Maybe I'll do more tomorrow or something, depending on how I feel. I just felt like playing this game today. Uh-oh.
Respawning.
That's what happens when you... Well, at least I'm right here. Actually, let's save.
Getting been saved.
Because I would also like to talk definitely to Akiko and Henry. Because there's been lots of, like, huh moments right now, so...
Dr. Dinjas.
Got a sec. Back for the more real talk. Hit me.
Wonderful!
Oh, nothing lasts forever except the certainty of change. Quoting philosophy now. Ah, please. Some song in the skate punk collection. You were into trip hop last time I was on the island.
My
I like
favourite
to mix it up. Keep it
investigator.
fresh. One of the citizens we abducted from the real world had it with him. What other phrases have I missed? Phases. I got big into mathcore for a while. I was drinking lots of coffee. And Mexican hip-hop. For everything that's wrong with these islands, we at least have a lot of different people here. But punk is the island's flavor. Hopefully we'll abduct some of more CDs for Perfect 25.
Hypothetically.
You'd think a mass of oppressed citizens would mean there was more punk music on the island.
I don't like this.
Not allowing them access to instruments or any real means of creativity probably hinders that. Why do you think there's so many murders in the apartments?
Investigator!
Monster had always said you can't build pyramids without slaves. We've got enough pyramids. I agree. Catch you later. Did you give Sam blood? Yes I do. He has a rare condition. You might have noticed he has no flesh and his skeleton's bright red. The council approved letting him have citizen blood that is in the temple. He developed the condition a few sequences ago. I suspect his body is starting to give out. Okay. What do you know about the Pharaoh taking my gracious throat during our examination? I took photos, but they're all confiscated by Akiko. Classified or whatever. I found one on the Marshall server. Can I get your opinion on it? The bruising on the throat looks odd.
How?
That's because the fingers that did it aren't uniform. In normal strangulation, bruising can see areas of pressure from the fingertips and the knuckles. The pressure on these is misaligned. This is normally because the attacker is wearing jewelry. Specifically in this case, a ring on the middle ring finger. Wedding ring finger.
Sure.
What about power armor? Oh, nope. The gauntlet to the Marshall's power gloves with armor plates on top of the hands. Who wears a wedding ring? A war wedding ring. This was 10 years ago. Who wore a wedding ring? Who was married? Because, hold on real quick. Because we got... It's confirmed that Carmelina and Witness were married and then divorced. And then there's also Sam and Lydia. So... And who came with... Somebody came with... Grace. Was it Carmelina? Yes! Carmelina accompanied her to Henry's exorcism. Ooh. When Akiko left Grace alone with Henry, it was to speak to Carmel. Oh, but no, wait a minute. She was alone with him, so now I'm confused. Alright, let me clean up some of these exclamation marks here. Yeah, there is still so much here. Like, I can't pinpoint who exactly did it just yet. Like, what I'm curious about is... See, I have all these crimes right here? Like, do I... Oh, I really don't have any elsewhere evidence? Interesting. Like, does that mean that during the trials I gotta, like, break every single crime? One by one? Damn. Oh. Take your time, Justin. Sam and Lydia are still divorced. No, Sam and Lydia have not been divorced ever. At least they didn't say anything like that. They're still together. Oh. You meant married. Okay. Okay, let's fast travel. Because I want to talk to Akiko. Because she has a lot of explaining to do herself. The comment about the pyramids being built by slaves isn't actually true. It seems that they were built by paid workers. At least the Egyptian ones were. Interesting. Oops.
Game saved.
All right. Time to be called more bad words in Romanian.
Grand Marshal Akiko 14.
Got a minute, Akiko.
Nenorachito, you're out of your mind.
You're going to die. Humor me.
Ooh,
Do you know
investigator is
anything?
here.
Do you do anything outside of soldiering? Why are you so interested to know? We're all part of the syndicate. I'm trying to establish a friendship.
Che?
Why would I want to have a friendship with a Dobutkukul? I said it all wrong and I'm tired myself, so blah. Like you. Friends and relationships expand our worldview. They can also provide comfort and support.
Nenorachito.
Tikalos?
Sure.
Just tell me something about yourself. Do you have a pet?
You need to back off.
A pet? Fine. 2 goldfish. There we go. We're getting somewhere. I don't think Kiko's very amused by now. It means dumbass? Oh boy. What are the names?
Nenorachito.
I'm not telling you that.
Nanny, the hell?
What drew you to fish? Did you have them as a kid?
I'm a soldier.
In the barracks, just after I was taken in by the new Night Army. I looked after them after I adjusted to military life.
The investigator is here.
Do you miss those days? War is no place for children, Prost. I did what I had to. What about...
Do you want to die?
That's it. I'm done. No more. Goodbye.
Rahat.
Got it.
Is there something else, Akiko? No, it's nothing. No, you're already gonna tell me.
Freak.
It was nothing.
I don't
Spit
like
it out.
this.
We're both busy. Do you know something about someone on the island?
You're trying to find the wrong truth.
Fine. It's about Crimson.
That's strange.
What about her? She came to me in secret to ask about becoming a marshal. That's right. I think, you know, she mentioned that.
Nenorachito.
Well, us talking to Crimson, she mentioned that to us. So, I don't give this information up lightly.
Ishprost.
She used to be a fine soldier. She was blessed by the gods for her role in repelling the 19th island invasion.
Ishprost.
I'm the only syndicate member allowed to be a marshal. There was nothing I could do for her. Why are you telling me this? Henry's our only suspect.
Turfa.
Henry did it, no doubt. I'm just telling you that there may be someone that would benefit from him doing it.
Oh, I'm glad to
I'll
be
look
back.
into it. Thank you. Did you experience a blackout? No, I didn't. Okay, suppose that. These are the big ones now. What happened with the prisoners you removed from the barracks prison? It's classified.
Paradise feels
I
wrong.
disagree. Why were they removed? Investigator, they are being processed before the slaughter ritual. We don't just open the prison gates and let them wander over to the temple.
The investigator is here.
They were removed before the slaughter ritual. What happened to them? They were processed, then returned to their cells.
Got it.
The logs are shown being returned.
Pull up.
You don't have access to full Marshall network, so you can't prove that. You also don't get to question how I run my army. Why didn't you let Doomjazz examine the dead bodies of the Marshall guards? There was no need. They had been carved up by the monster, who, as I keep saying, is in custody. Surely even the investigation so they can see it's an open and shut case.
I have a bad feeling
If it
about
was,
this.
I wouldn't be here. Really? I thought there was going to be more. What can you tell me about the demonic sigils on Grace's body?
Rahat.
The same was found on Henry's mother.
Got it.
I've been told they weren't. Linear division sigils were scorched onto her by sustained close proximity to Henry. Grace's were carved into her flesh.
You need to back off.
Got any proof?
I'm glad to be
No
back.
solid proof, just a good bit of testimony. Were you carrying a blade when you arrested Henry? Of course, I always carry my sword and a combat knife. Did you find a blade on Henry when you arrested him or after he had killed Grace? No. So how did the sigils get carved into her body?
Freak.
No idea. Demons? Thanks for the insight. Now it's really looking like Carmelina did it. Why did you confiscate the photo of Grace Bloodline's neck from Doomjazz after the examination?
Nenorachito, you're out of your mind.
She was murdered by someone possessed by a demon. Anything related to demonic possession is classified. Is that standard procedure or just for evidence that doesn't tie into the official story?
Durfa.
Standard procedure. You think you're really smart and clever with your snide insinuations, but you're not. You're wrong. I don't know. I was actually expecting more. Every time I keep thinking there's going to be more, it ends up not really going well.
Henry Division.
See what he has to tell me. Let's talk, Henry. Is there any joy to be had on the island? Oh, yeah, too much, really.
Whatever you fucking say.
What the fuck do you think?
I don't like this.
I'm just trying to get a handle on the island that birthed the crime to end all crimes. We do our work and pray. Sometimes people go into that bar. Sometimes we go to the beach.
Are you
Did you know there's boat rides? Fucking boat rides!
Oh.
Have you been on one?
I spent my
Yeah.
entire life.
A long time ago. My mom took me. We didn't get the best seats. I was a problem kid and she was a single mother. We always shunned. She made some friends eventually. There was a mahjong club in one of the apartments. She got in with them. What about you? I found kids to hang out with. No friends, though. I just do stuff to make them laugh. Smash windows, set fire to people, whatever. That's why I started being arrested a lot.
Whatever you fucking
Wait,
say.
hang on, why the fuck am I opening up to you like this?
Whatever you fucking say.
You want to hear something fucking good? Oh, I got something. Do you have something to tell me? I like you, investigator. Yay, the code to a safe. I think you're onto something. The code to the safe in my apartment is ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. I thought you had a bad memory. Something's just getting engraved on it. Trust me, I wish they didn't. People should have minds full of things. If you only have a couple of things rattling around there, it's torture.
My mind is like a desert covered in fog.
See you later, Derpy. Thank you so much for coming out, buddy. Hope you enjoy your trip. The same thing keeps bouncing off the edges of your consciousness, and it's like a gunshot each time.
Key item obtained.
Beautiful. We got something possibly major there. Did you go through the barracks last night? Why are you asking? The only statue of New Knight is in the barracks. Well, I guess I did then. Good investigating. You nailed it.
What fucking ever.
Any fucking idea how that happened? What everyone is saying about you did last night might be wrong. Some excitement, finally! Hello, Jaden, welcome to the stream. Did you experience a comms blackout? What do you think?
Grand Marshal Akiko 14.
Okay. Which of Danny's anime roles do you think she would be best cosplaying as? Oh, I don't know. Any one of them. Cosplaying, it doesn't matter like what you look the best at, as long as you just, you know, do it. You know, you have fun with it.
Game saved.
You're kind of sad now? You thought you needed a glove to open the safe? You know, I just thought about that. Like, we still don't know what the hell we have those gloves for. Like, we have, like, one use for them, and we just don't know what to use it on. Wait. Wait. Those servers. Ah. Those servers related to, I thought it was a deep factory?
Sure. What the hell? Sure.
They said, like, we can't get in there because the people are gone from there. What's to say that I can't open it with those things, with those gloves? But I don't remember I don't remember a way to get in there, period. I thought I examined everything I could. Alright, who else can I talk to? Crimson, which I'm saving for last because there's some stuff there. One Last Kiss. Carmelina again. Yeah, I could have sworn if I go to the factory there was something I could possibly do. Oh god, I can't remember. Where the hell is Carmelina? Oh. Wasn't Yuri wearing a ring as well? Ooh, yeah, you're right. I can't talk to him about it, but that is a good point. But Yuri wasn't, as far as we know, wasn't anywhere near the body from 10 years ago. So that's a little confusing.
What do you want?
I have a bad feeling
I don't
about
know.
this.
We'll see. You're at the final try of my V3 run. You're excited to see how it come full circle for you? Oh, it's great, Jaden. It really is. What is it? How can you be so sure the next island will be perfect? There are no certainties in architecture and design. Both are nebulous and subjective. We can never be sure that the design of the next island will be perfect.
The investigator is here.
Why are people calling it Perfect 25? The mind always looks for reassurance. Something concrete to hold on to. The world is chaotic and people crave respite.
We have achieved perfection.
We believe we have solved the problem of demonic corruption. The syndicate sees upon this as a sign of success, a sign of perfection. Do you think it will be perfect?
Craft is its own
As
reward.
close as you've come to it. The syndicate has so many problems to solve the islands. Our work is always undermined by the threat of demonic corruption. We cannot do our holy work while our home rots around us.
Got it.
Can the syndicate cope if Perfect 25 fails? It won't fail. Hypothetically.
This is nonsense.
Concentrate on your investigation. Let me worry about perfection.
I beg your pardon?
Can we discuss something of delicate nature? Ooh. What do you want to tell me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wasn't truthful. Witness used that bunker for an illegal study of demons. He wanted to find out all we could for the sake of the island. Ever since the beginning of the Syndicate, there's been zero tolerance on demons. The missed knowledge frightened him. He trapped a killer demon and experimented on it. I haven't set foot in there for years, since before he started.
Nanny, the hell?
Where did he get a killer demon? He trapped one. I don't know how. I kept a secret. He still means a lot to me. The killer demon would die when the Island 24 ceases to exist. Henry's demon had done irreparable damage to the island. This one wasn't going to do any more.
Oh.
What about Witness? I put it out of my mind. We fell apart and each other's matters became private again. That's pretty damn huge. Let me check what you guys are saying here. Seeing the pupper remind me of Bear-chan. Did I encounter her again? I did not. I have not went to go see Bear again. No, Carmelina and Witness were together. Yuri is simply Carmelina's secretary. And he's also Lydia's handler. Architect, why did your marriage Witness end?
I have no idea what
Why
you're
are
talking
you
about.
asking? Working on something. I assume you'll cooperate. About 9 years ago.
The investigator is here.
Okay. So, you wore a wedding ring? Of course. What is this about? Thank you for your help. Okay. So now it really looks like Carmelina's the one who possibly murdered Grace. Why, though? Oh, shoot. This is like getting like super convoluted. Can I, Yeah, what the hell is this? Wait, is that a gate I can just open? Stop going backwards, damn it! Oh, what the hell is this even for then? Huh. Man, I really can't remember if there's a way through here.
Getting saved.
See you later, Jaden. Because I want to check this out, and I definitely want to check out the safe. Wait. I went through here. Oh, you know, it's just... Yeah, you know, I totally forgot about that. There's a big shortcut from the citizen housing to this. I totally forgot about that. Okay, that's fine. Actually, wait a minute. I think I went the wrong way. I don't know if there's some other place I can investigate. There must be. Don't think about those servers that they're talking about, like on the moon. I thought there was something here I could possibly end up doing. There's a blood crystal up there. I really don't want to use any more stuff, really. I want to save the rest for a Carmelina, possibly. Damn. I thought maybe I could break, like...
Getting saved.
Let me see. There has to be in my inventory, right? Yeah, here we go. A high-end destructive weapon that can punch through thick material and only has one use left in it. There has to be a way I can still use this. Ah, but I can't remember. I just don't know. I mean, was it the reality folding drive, or was it the... Was it a deep factory? It's really gonna start bothering me now. Like, I feel I'm, like, so close to a lot of things, but... I was taking a look at the notes, like, right there for a little bit, but I couldn't really find anything. Where the hell is that deep factory again? So here's a deep factory entrance. I think it's over here. Damn it! I want to say it's something here. I did check my notes a little bit, but I was trying to find out if somebody said anything. Like, he mentioned... Like, the whole thing about those servers. And I thought he mentioned, like, we couldn't open it anymore because a lot of them left the area. So I'm thinking if I could break in there with the gauntlets, that'd be great. And this is the entrance right here, but I can't do anything about it. There's no indication. Oh. This is gonna bother me. Like, I feel like we're so close to it, but... So many stairs. That's it, huh? Okay. Well, I guess maybe that's another thing we can take a look into, but right now I want to go into the dead zone. I want to say that's over here. Because that's safe. It must have something amazing in there. And really, we don't really have much potential leads afterwards. Like, but I still don't feel comfortable closing out the case. Not by a long shot. Where is the damn dead zone. I know I can go through Sammy's. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at... Let's talk to Bear Chan. We haven't seen... Wait a minute. Wasn't Bear Chan right here? I know they were only down by the... Aw. They were only down from the convenience store. They're not here anymore. It was this open area right here. Are they down here? Oh, here they are. You already had treats. Oh. Good boy. You saw a cloud? A cloud? There's many clouds here. I'm a little confused what you mean. Is Bear Chan a girl? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think there's anything in this little convenience store. Or like stuff I haven't checked out already. I don't see who follow. Give me a second here. That's what happens when everything blocks the thing. Be skilled, I believe. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for follow. I definitely do appreciate it. Oh yeah, the marshals are all out of here. That's right. Why can't I turn?
If you want to live.
What the hell?
What's going on?
The dead zone is leaking demonic gas. The
purifying
purifying system seems to have failed.
Okay, that was a full thing. Okay. Now stay back. No.
If you want to live, stay back.
Nah, I'm gonna go in anyway. Oh. Come on. Shoot. Which one was the apartment? There's the hatch. Here we go. Everybody calls her a freak. It's because they're all buttholes. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss the apartment? I may have actually missed the apartment. Here we are.
Sure. Ooh, the investigator is here.
So, there's a safe in here. Here's the body of Rena
Don't
Division.
Test me.
Here's the safe. Hello, Svitten. Henry said the code is all that.
I'm glad to be back.
It unlocked. Proves that it pays to be nice to people sometimes. Let's see what a citizen like Henry would be hiding in a safe. The Grimoire of Majidai. A Majidai. A bit of light reading.
Sure.
Let's see what it says here in the evidence up here. Book of Demonology written before the Great Betrayal by a scholar named Majidai. His studies were focused on speaking of the gods. I found this in safe in Henry's apartment. How did Henry have access to this? This would have come from Singet's library. Did Yuri give it to him? This book predates the Great Betrayal. It was written by the scholar of the esoteric, Majida. She was famed for learning how to communicate with the gods and hold cosmic communes with them.
Got it.
This should be in a restricted vault by the Syndicate's library.
Got it.
Yeri accessed the restricted area a decade ago. Did he take it? I guess this is the book Henry said he was given. This might prove that his possession was aided. Someone wanted the island to be invaded by demons. But why? So at this point... Oh man. The only potential lead we have left to like really, if you want to say investigate, is CARMELINA took some godflesh, what happened to it. But then we still gotta find out more about these, like why did Akiko leave Henry and Grace together? The bloodstains on the wall, whose blood is at the crime scene? Okay. Hello, Dragon. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? You're still waiting for the mattress to come in? Oh, jeez. See you later, Cadmos. Alright. I can talk to Akiko again. Crimson, Witness, Yuri. One last kiss, that's right. I got 33 blood crystals. Hopefully I can spend a few. See you later, nature. And hello, Blink. Welcome to the stream. Crap. Where the hell was she at? I think it was the graveyard. Let's also save.
Getting saved. One last kiss.
Got time to chat. I have all the time in the world until the island ends. What's your take on Perfect 25? There is no such thing as perfection. The Syndicate has observed over demonic corruption, but turned a blind eye to the corruption of itself. Are you expecting Perfect 25 to fail? You probably should have found this on your own, but do we have different sections, or is the whole game one big investigation? It's basically one huge investigation of multiple crimes, but then at the end, whenever you feel ready, you can initiate the trials and take everything that you learn and hope that you reach a conclusion. Fair is a broad term. Nothing lasts forever, does it?
There is corruption on this island, investigator.
Everything changes, including perfection.
I have a bad
I don't
feeling
think
about
many people
this.
want to hear that.
Who would benefit
A
from a
human's
crime
folly.
like this?
Believing whatever you want isn't acceptable. You can tell how far a society is away from collapse by how many people flock to demagogy. I thought they were talking about the thing from Stranger Things, a demogorgon.
Sure.
Are you saying CARMELINA is a demagogue?
Dreadful.
She's the one pleading for perfection, isn't she? The one offering the easy answer to all our worries? Perfection is a lie. Perfection will crumble. Perfection is sold to fools. Do you think we can achieve perfection, investigator?
I don't like this.
That's what I'm here to find out. I hope you do investigate that. Okay. Did you experience a comms blackout? It would be very convenient for that to happen last night, wouldn't it? I think whoever told you that is lying. Yeah, I figured that. That's really all you came to tell me? Oh. Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess I can talk to Yuri and witness. I know I'm missing something major, especially with the blood crystal.
Blood crystal obtained.
Especially when it comes to the gauntlets. I gotta break into some place, but I just don't know what. Like, I still believe it's the deep factory, but I don't know. I see Shinji down there. Oh, whatever. I'll talk to him. Maybe not. Oh, that was close. You're in neck deep, up to your eyes in crime. On a battlefield of psychos and criminals. That's my job. And you're cool with it.
Sure.
You can't investigate if there aren't any crimes. So what you're saying is you never want to wipe out crime because then you'll have nothing to do? That's one way of looking at it. It's the only way if you ask me.
Recording obtained.
Ooh, I'm going to find out what's going on. This isn't right. The island feels wrong. I'm going to blow this hole wide open. The syndicate. The syndicate. The syndicate. The island feels weird. Wrong, I should say. Oh, I opened that already. I saw something when I was coming down here. It's like I'm trapped. Oh, it's Bear. I think it was just a relic anyway, so I guess it's nothing major. Yuri. I know I could have like fast traveled to him, saved me a lot of time, but these blood crystals I'm hanging on to at the moment because I'm really not sure if I need the rest of them for Crimson or not. And yes, I know there's like a lot of things I've selected, like investigate, like little nooks and crannies that may have blood crystals and relics, but whatever. Yes, it is my understanding that you could go to a trial of absolutely nothing.
You reunite.
Got time to chat. What do you want, freak? What kind of music do you like, Yuri? Good. A properly addressed question. What do you want to know? I want to get to know you. Have you been drinking? I mean, do you have any interests?
Insufferable.
I do enjoy some music. Classical. Music that improves your mind. Studies show that the impact of listening to classical music only lasts for 10 minutes. Really? That's it? There aren't any long-term effects.
What are you talking about?
Quite. Goodbye. Sure. Do you know why a book that you took from the library was in Henry's safe? Nothing to do with me.
When love dies,
Henry says a stranger
all that
passed him a
remains
forbidden
are
book
the
and told him to
facts.
keep it a secret. That book is one you accessed.
Don't make
Not
me
sure you
laugh.
can prove that, freak. If I remember correctly, the library vaults only record entry and exit, not what was read or taken.
Don't test
That's
me.
opportune, don't you think? Don't be snide with me. Did you access the library vault and get forbidden books on demonology to Henry? No.
Crime cannot
You're the
hide.
only one of the suspects who accessed that vault.
Worthless.
That doesn't mean the book came from me. Oh my god. Are they all gonna be like this? Seriously? I guess Alright. I think I'm almost done here. I'm going to, I'm gonna run all the way to Henry. Once again, I want to save all my blood crystals. I want to talk to Henry really quick. And then I may talk to Crimson. Have you tried to go to trial one specific case? It's possible you can solve them one at a time and not all at once, you know? No, I haven't, because from what I can tell, or kind of what the game warned me about Zagor, it made it seem like once I go into the trial, that is it. I don't think I'm able to solve one crime at a time. It's just Henry who has something to say.
Henry Division.
Let's talk.
Not a fucking thing.
What the hell was that? What the fuck's up with the slaughter ritual? Citizens don't get to go to the next island, so a ritual takes place where the citizens are sacrificed to gods. The temple becomes awash from blood, and the psychic energy of the deaths is directed to the gods by the high priestess.
What?
Don't you think that's really fucked up? I mean, it's the worst part of this whole thing. Perfect 25 should end it. No more dead islands.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But a big fucking load of kidnapped citizens through, though, right? Sounds real perfect.
Whatever you fucking say.
I found a forbidden tome about demonology in your apartment. What are you doing with it?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay. Is this one big fucking joke to you? What the fuck do you think I was doing with it? Propping up a table? I was doing some fucking demon fuckingology.
Ooh, the investigator.
Who gave it to you? A stranger who went through. We went through this already. Is this where your memory fails you? Don't get cute. Okay.
Grand Marshal Akiko 14.
Rahat.
You're going to die. Humor me.
The investigator.
Why do
is
you hate
here.
me so much? I thought you were the investigation today. It's not that hard to figure it out. I mean, what's your problem? Is this a soldier versus civvy thing? Case file completed. You've solved the mystery. Why does it have to be like this? Way of the world. We exist in different planes. We see different things. I work so that you may sleep at night. You trot about without a care in the world. Service requires no thanks.
Nenorochito.
What a good lapdog you are.
Nenorochito.
We're done here. Goodbye. Okay.
Got it. What the hell?
This sometimes they'll match
That's
up. He couldn't have broken free, made it to the penthouse, breached all 4 holy seals, killed the council, and got back to the penthouse entrance to be found in time, Akiko claims. Yeah, we knew that already. What? I can talk to witness again? Well, it's having taken a long way. I probably should look around for actual blood crystals, but the rests are for Crimson. Hey Pharaoh, for this one world I'm working on, you are advised to go and prepare for trials, but if you don't look into everything and you're screwed, and the opposing attorney prosecutor will make sure you're feeling horrible for missing important evidence. I mean, I could have sworn there were games that did something like that. But I really can't remember the exact game, but it's like basically you were like shit out of luck if you continued the game and you didn't have information that you needed. It's gonna bother me because I can't remember what the hell which one it was. I want to say it was like an older game too, because like especially a lot of older like Sierra point and click games, if you missed like something like little, you could have easily just been screwed for the rest of the game and just not be able to do anything else. Whew.
Game saved.
I think it's safe to assume that Henry was not the one who killed the council. It's just he's the convenient scapegoat because he is the one who apparently killed... No, he's the one who apparently did the demonic possession thing 10 years ago, and so it's just easy for them to say, yes, he did it. You think there's a conspiracy and everyone was involved in it? It could be. I mean, I did say that I feel like there's a group of people. To say that every single person was involved, I can kind of see that, but I don't know. I think everybody was involved in various aspects. Like, we already looked at everything here. For example, like, because we have, like, what? 10 crimes here? Like, maybe in terms of the KHX, Crimson still knows quite a bit about it, supposedly, because he was obsessed with her, but then Yuri's looking pretty bad about it, too. So, like, this is, like, one of the only things where Crimson might be pretty, like, uh-oh, about it. But it's not really looking really good for Yuri as well, because he had his ring in his hand. And he shut down the boats. So, I don't know. Type crimes, not suspects. Those numbers don't add up now, do they? They don't need to add up. You can simply have people do multiple crimes.
Witness to the end.
Oh, who's calling? I'll call them back. Also seeing what else is... What is this? Oops. Okay. You want to chat, witness? I must warn you, number one. Okay, we know that already. What was it like growing up in the Chaos Palace?
The gods are
Character building. It is an insane network of twisting geometry. I did not see the outside world until I fled for the syndicate with Ezekiel. I had no concept of time. It gave me a unique perspective of the world. What took you to the palace? Not sure most people would want to be there. I was enslaved as a child. The glorious crying grudge swept through Persia, and I was put to work in the Chaos Palace. The palace was insatiable. It grew without check, and we had to feed its hunger day and night. What happened to it?
Surely this is a joke.
It was sucked during a great betrayal. Humanity stepped out of the light of the gods and steeped itself in sin. The great monuments to our holy benefactors were torn down. The Chaos Palace was reduced to rubble, then used to build Alexander's cities. That palace should never exist again, but I despair at what we have lost.
The investigator is here.
I sometimes think we all live in our own Chaos Palaces.
The end times.
The gods can lead us out.
Is this a fact?
Witness, I have testimony that you were using a secret bunker for demonology research.
What?
From who?
Got it.
Who do you think?
I am still bathed in the glory of the gods.
Whatever you think you know, you don't. I always work for the Holy Masters.
This island is full
This
of
has nothing to
sinners.
do with the murder of the council, though.
Oh.
I found a killer demon inside a council penthouse with the victim's blood all over its claws. You think you're onto something, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Is this a fact?
Then why don't you
Or a
tell me?
tree?
If you think you have some wild conspiracy theory, you will need to prove it in the trials. I won't talk further about this. See you in court, witness.
Under the gaze of the gods.
You must really watch my God of War 2018 playthrough when I'm done with the game myself. It sounds like you had a spanking time. Oh, I loved God of War. I basically... No, I did 100% it. I platinumed it, yeah. Okay, so here's the worrying part. It seems like nobody else has anything to say or add. And that Blue Garden, I know you mentioned, like, can you question Lydia about her old car? Well, if they don't have an exclamation mark above their head, that means, like, they're not going to give me anything new, or there's nothing I can ask them about. Not sure, I could hang out with them, and maybe... Like, there's no guarantee, but maybe... Oopsie. They'll add on something, but... I don't know the real, like, purposes, like, if it is going to be say so or not. Now, yeah, Crimson does have a thing on top of her head. Because I gotta buy a lot of her information. Now, it's not that I have to, but I could. Now, I'm thinking because we have 33 blood crystals and I just don't know what else to do at this moment. This thing's already 2 hours long. I'm getting tired. How about this? Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll talk to her. This may take a while. We'll buy out all her stuff. And maybe we'll find new things to investigate, but we'll see.
Crimson acid.
Got time for a chat. Tell me about your blessing. The 19th island incident? It was a weird island from the beginning. Strange feeling in the air. Like it was a powder keg waiting to go. About 2 centuries into the demonic invasion happened. Someone communicated with the gods. We discovered an Eden cult in the apartments. They're convinced themselves that passing commoner was the god. They were amateurs but managed to reach out into space. The demons flooded in. Why was the invasion so bad? Akiko and the Marshalls hit the cult hard. Real shock and awe response. The apartments were demolished before the corruption set in. We went through... We thought we got them, but the cult had a trick. There was a possessed cult member chained up in the sewers.
Doesn't add up.
The Marshalls missed them in their sweep. High on successfully wiping out on the apartments. What? Hold on a minute. High on successfully wiping out the apartments. You remember from last stream you were talking to her about her car. She mentioned something about an old car, but you didn't talk about it. There was nothing else to talk about Blue Gardener. I mean, if I could talk about the old car, I could have, but I didn't have the option to. The guy in the sewers let the demons slowly sleep in the island. The foundations of the island became rotten. Then the demons attacked. Swarms of them came from underground. Everyone took up arms. So you fought the fight and got blessed.
I have my ways.
Not just a pretty face, lady. Akiko and her marshals were pinned down at the temple. I held the line at the council building. Akiko's never forgiven me. She was convinced the demon general would go for the temple. I believed otherwise.
Thank you.
After the battle, the gods blessed me and I got this new head. Story time's over, lady. Be glad I didn't charge you for this. Go stay paradise instead of hanging out around in the sewer. I'll be back for another story. So, like, all this stuff I can ask her about. The thing is, she apparently knows more about KHX's stuff, but I don't know if any of this stuff has anything here. Did you experience a comms blackout? Not down here. Those are very rare. If he's using that as an alibi, you need to be skeptical. What? Skeptical. Never mind. Hold on.
Business is booming.
Yeah, hold on.
Sure.
Thank you. Nice doing
I just want to see if
business
there's anything
with
else
you.
I don't have to buy really quick. Yeah, see, this whole thing with we already know about Henry's father.
Don't be coy. Secrets breed mistrust.
See, I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't want to buy things. I hate saying it's cheating, but if it gives me more stuff, I guess I might as well, right? Why would Akiko kill the council?
Good work.
All right, here you go. Deal.
Nice doing business
Good
with
crystals,
you.
minimal imperfections. Akiko is a soldier through and through. She's also the leader. They're the only family she's ever wanted.
We're in a dark
The Marshalls
time.
aren't syndicate, though. They're citizens. A security measure by Montserrat. They don't have our immortality, and they don't get moved between islands.
Got it.
That makes them expendable, too. Precisely. Akiko has endured a millennia of sadness watching her troops die or get left behind. She wants them in the syndicate. Get them gene therapied up and create a battalion of immortal soldiers. End her heartache. She has motioned the syndicate to try and get her marshals inducted, been refused every time. She's hurting and she's angry.
That's weird.
So what does she get from murdering the council? She wouldn't be promoted to a position where she can change the rules and keep her marshals alive between islands. She'd use a murder to scare a new council. The untouchables became touched by the hand of death.
Thank you.
She can argue for increased militarization on the next island, scapegoated on a citizen and panic the next council into creating martial law of troops indicted within the syndicate.
Ooh, the
Use loyal
investigator is
troops
here.
rather than expendable troops. Precisely. Montserrat was always scared of immortal soldiers having dangerous thoughts and leading a coup. If Akiko did this, she proves that the threat isn't from the marshals.
The investigator
Got any
is
proof?
here.
Sure do. I pulled this from the moon database. You never know when something like this will come in useful. Thanks. So, motion table council, Grand Marshal with a former request of God Justice Marshals be inducted in the syndicate. Declined. Unanimous vote. And she's put in numerous motions. Now, here is what I'm wondering. I still feel like there's something I can do with the with those power gauntlets or whatever. And I feel like, especially she says she pulled it from the moon database. That's what I'm trying to get into myself. But I don't know if I can do anything with those. Like, I'm worried. Like, I feel like if I look into there, then I might get a lot of this information that she knows. So, okay, I'm going to ask you guys directly here. Do you guys know if I can use those power gauntlets? And if I can, where can I use them? Because I'm going to hate that I use them, or like I can't use them. And they end up being super important. Like, I really don't know. I'm sorry, I was checking my email really quick as something popped up. Here's I haven't got proof, but so I'm not charging you for that, for what I'm about to say. Akiko falls in love with her troops. That's why she hurts so much. She's had her string of relationships throughout the island. Is there something special on this island?
I have my ways.
Captain Voth. He's the highest ranking marshal under Akiko. What? Oh. He died. And he was in an illicit relationship. The highest ranking marshals are chosen to guard a council during the birth of the new island. So he was murdered last night.
Weird.
Looks that way. So if her lovers are dying when the island ends, her motive is to kill the council to push her agenda through, get her marshals into the syndicate, and make them immortal?
Got it.
That's a pretty big bet to make.
Funny.
I agree. Something doesn't add up.
Oh.
I'm not convinced Voth died last night.
Who knows?
Don't tease, lady. That sounds like a secret.
I'm glad to be back.
Don't secrets have costs?
Secrets are dangerous.
I'll refund you for our earlier transaction. Ooh. Ooh. Why would I want to hide it from her? It sounds like I would want my stuff back. Like, it's not gonna hurt, is it? It's a deal. Taking my first steps into the secret trading industry.
Good.
Pleasure doing business.
The investigator is here.
The dead marshals outside our council building aren't marshals. The bloods don't match.
Who knows?
So are the real marshals. Working on it.
Don't be coy.
If you want to enter the Viper's Nest, you can try the barracks. If I was a marshal looking to lay low, I'd be in there. They don't let anyone in.
Sure.
Akiko removed 2 prisoners from the barracks a couple days ago. I think you're onto something.
Those crystals obtained.
But I didn't find any marshals in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm really iffy about continuing buying things from her when it seems like I can use those power gauntlets. I just don't know where. Oh, this is gonna suck. Welcome back, Justin.
Game saved.
So now I can talk to Akiko. Hello?
Those crystals obtained.
Did I never come up here?
Those crystals obtained. Those crystals obtained.
Yay, more blood crystals.
Those crystals obtained.
Yep. So yeah, if I have the necessary information, I might get refunds, which, yay. But, hold on.
Sure.
Is this the work of a god? This is no damned harmony. This is human through and through. I can smell it. Are you sure? There's something rotten in the mix, but gods have bigger interest in you people. Spend 2, find 20. Ah.
Relic obtained.
Incoherent abandoned diary. Fleeting fragments of Sin's memories of the previous life. Must be hard adjusting to the island. Yeah, I can imagine. There's stuff there. What other leads do I have now? Yeah, we still don't know where happened to the god flesh. This is Crimson must know more about the KHX. I need to get her to open up. I guess I just gotta, like, coming back and talk to her. Maybe she'll eventually get to me. Damage great on the council penthouse. Houses open. Is there any evidence in the area? I didn't see any. Whose blow is using to open a third seal? That moon server. Like, where is it? I forgot where the hell, like, what we were talking about. That they mentioned it. I want to say it was here. Let's see. No. the things, it doesn't say it. And like, if I look at my key items here, we got the safe key. We got Grace's stuff. His blood sample. Glistening stone. I don't even know where the hell I got this from. Our space helmet, the report. It's these damn gauntlets. Like, I know I can use them somewhere, but where? And like, it's really, really gonna bother me, but I just don't know where the hell I can use them. I'm looking at the map. I feel like I've been everywhere. You got it from the after the ghost admitted he lost a ring. Did I? I can't even remember. Inaccurate alarm clock. Time is meaningless in the islands, but citizens cling to these old signifiers from old lives for comfort. Yeah, I feel like I may just call it here for right now, guys, because I'm gonna like drive myself crazy if I can't just figure out exactly where those gauntlets were used. And I don't want to look it up per se, but I feel like I'm getting a little desperate because I feel like that's really gonna help us out. And I don't know. And I am getting very drained. I mean, I'm tired. I'm still not feeling well, so I probably should just call it here. I'm also like I'm just running around trying to think at the same time. You gotta grab that blood crystal, right? Nope, nope, nope. Oh, wait, never mind. Like, I want to say I investigated a place that had, like, a locked door or something that I wasn't able to, like, open. And for the life of me, I just can't remember. Like, something tells me it might be, like, up. I really thought this was it here. Because I could have sworn he was talking about the Deep Factory. But I guess not. Yeah, if I try forcing myself to figure out whatever, I'm just going to be blah, so... Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, let me go ahead and just save it here. And then next time... I will try... figuring out what I can. I may like look around off screen. So next time I begin, we can know where to go to, and then I could just spend the rest of the time looking into Crimson, seeing what she knows, and take things from there, I guess. So that is that.